Hi guys, I hope you're all well. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Lucy for those of you that don't know me, and my son Harry is 3.5 and he is profoundly deaf and wears cochlear implants. So I did a video a couple of weeks about what I have learnt from being the mum of a cochlear implant kid, and I had an amazing feedback from that video. You all seem to really enjoy it, and I asked you in that video the sorts of things that you wanted me to film videos about around his hearing loss, around his cochlear implants, anything like that. And the main response was you guys wanted to hear about sign language and how we learnt it and how we used it with Harry. We are really positive about using sign language, and we really think that it helped Harry learn to speak. So I will start from the very beginning. When we found out Harry was deaf, he was 7 weeks old. I will link a video below about when we found that out. And shortly after that, we started receiving support from the Children's Advisory Service, I believe it's called. So it's like a package of support that's funded by the NHS, which is amazing in the UK, and it does vary from area to area. So some of the things that I'm going to say to you today, if you're a parent of a deaf child, you might not receive the same sort of things that we receive. When Harry was 7 weeks old, he was diagnosed as profoundly deaf, and we were then assigned what's called a teacher of the deaf, and she is somebody that comes to our house and plays games with Harry and helps him do his listening skills. And when he was a baby, they were there to provide us as parents a lot of support and information and sort of guide us through this whole process. And she will be with Harry until he is 18, I believe, so till he's finished his education. So she'll support him through school, make sure the schools are doing everything they can for him. Our teacher of the deaf then said to us, would we like to learn some sign language? Which we straight away were like, oh my god, yes, we would love to. To be honest, it's something I'd always wanted to learn, but never like sort of been in a situation where I've had to or whatever. So we decided that yes, we would definitely want to learn sign language. So we were assigned our own sign language teacher, the lovely Janet, who I know will be watching this video. She always supports all my videos. Janet is one of the most amazing women I have ever met in my life. She is deaf, she doesn't wear hearing aids or cochlear implants, and she relies completely on sign language and lip reading. So when she first came to my house, I must admit I was nervous because I thought, if she can't hear me, am I going to be able to communicate with her? But she is an absolutely incredible, and as long as I was looking at her and speaking clearly, she knew exactly what I was saying just from lip reading. So yeah, I think she was very inspiring, a very incredible lady. We were assigned to Janet, and she would come to our house every Thursday. So we'd have like a little Thursday club with my sister, my dad, Scott, anyone that could make it. We'd have a little club where we would learn the basics of sign language. So the first thing that Janet taught us was the alphabet, and she said that this is the most important thing to start learning when you're learning the basics of sign language, because a lot of it does revolve around letters and the letters of the words that you're saying. If you can finger spell with the alphabet, then you're off to a really good start. So I'm going to show you if I can remember the whole of the British Sign Language alphabet. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, or is it W? W, X, Y, Z. So yeah, I think I've got all of those right. I haven't done the alphabet in quite a long time. So I actually found it really easy to learn when we were starting to learn it. I seem to pick up sign language really quickly, as opposed to Scott, who still doesn't know that many signs, but I did attend a lot more sessions than him. But I just seemed to absorb it really quickly and remember the signs really quickly, which made me feel really good, because it meant that I could start signing to Harry and hopefully he would start signing back to me. So obviously Harry was a very little baby when we started, but our sign teacher said to us that even really little babies can pick up sign language. And it's not just for deaf children. I would encourage anybody with a baby or a toddler to sign to them, because it's the first way that you can communicate. Before they can even properly speak, you could communicate with them. They could tell you when their nappy is wet, they could tell you when they want milk, they could tell you they're hungry. So that was the first sign that Harry did, believe it or not, because the kid doesn't eat anything. His first sign was hungry, which was really cool. We basically learnt the absolute basics of signs, so things like milk, or milk some people do, or nappy, apple, banana, chocolate. Chocolate's a big one in our house. More, so more was probably the sign that we definitely used the most when Harry was younger. So when he was younger, we'd be like, if you want some more, you have to say more, and you say thank you and please, and Harry still uses please and thank you all of the time, especially when he's not got his ears on. I think I've mentioned it in a previous video that Harry relies a lot on lip reading as well, so he can hear absolutely perfectly with his cochlear implants, but when he's not wearing them, so first thing in the morning, when he's in the bath, or if he's just not wearing them for whatever reason, he will rely on lip reading, but he also will use quite a lot of signs. So he'll say thank you or aeroplane, or he will sign banana or whatever that he wants to sign. In terms of how it's benefited Harry, I cannot praise British Sign Language enough. I think it has really helped him with his speech. Obviously Harry wasn't implanted until he was 14 months old, so he was at the age where he should have been speaking but obviously couldn't. So he would use sign to communicate with us, and it would really go along. So we wouldn't just sign to him like this for aeroplane, we'd say aeroplane. So he had the lip movements, the sound, and the hand gesture to go alongside it, so he could really like get the full sense of the word. And eventually, the more and more we said the word and signed it, he started to say it, and he would say it and sign at the same time, and now he just pretty much speaks. He doesn't really sign that many things at the same time. It also benefits us now because if he doesn't know the word for something, he will normally sign it, and if he doesn't know the word or the sign, he'll just make up his own sign, which I think is absolutely fine. If he wants to make up his own sign for things, I think that absolutely, you know, if it's going to help his speech, then I think that's a really good thing. So I haven't gone on to do a qualification or anything in sign language yet, although it is something that I would really like to do in the future. I think Harry should also learn it in the future. I would love it if they would learn it at school. My niece actually goes to a school and they have there a unit on their school for children with hearing loss. So there's a lot of children there that are deaf or use hearing aids or cochlear implants. So they have the option to learn sign language there, and my niece Lily is actually learning it at the moment, which I think is really cool. But I think it should be a mandatory language that all children learn in school. It's such a good skill to have. Like, imagine that on your CV that you can speak sign language, or imagine if there was an emergency and there was a deaf person and you could help them by using sign language. It just would be a really amazing skill to have. So as I said, your child doesn't need to be deaf to learn sign language. I'm going to leave a few resources below that I used when we were picking up sign language. If you want to know any more about how we learn, or if you live in my area and want to know a little bit more about the support system that's in place, please do get in touch. I'd love to hear from any parents with deaf children. I get emails all the time and I love speaking to you all. I think it's a really nice little community that we have going. If you didn't know already, I do actually write for the blog on Phonak. It's called Hearing Like Me, and I will link it below, and there's lots of information on there about my son's hearing loss, about how we picked a preschool, about my thoughts about him going to big school, about surgery advice. There's so much information on there, as well as lots of information from other types of hearing loss and other people in different circumstances. So I think I've covered everything about how we learnt sign language and how it's benefited us. Let me know if you've got any more video requests, whether it's to do with hearing loss or not. I would love to know what you guys like watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!